we're back in StoneBlock, and I've basically got to make a video. So previously we've done a bit of recording for StoneBlock here, and unfortunately all of that footage is pretty much unusable for me. So I'll salvage whatever I could from it, but honestly there wasn't that much that seemed workable from what was happening, and I don't know, it's just a mess. So what I've decided is I'm gonna hop in and I'm gonna record for maybe a couple hours, maybe only an hour, just so I've got some more footage to round out the video. But this might be a shorter video than it normally is because frankly I have no footage. So yeah, the previous bits of footage that got corrupted might make this seem a little bit like stuff has happened, but basically I've dismantled the mechanism stuff that I was working on here, and we've moved it back here so it's got its own area that we're going to have to expand out in that direction. I can't go too far or we might start interfering with the mob farm that's up there, but I think here is fine. And basically I need to get the automation working so we have an almost unlimited supply of steel. Basically I want a contraption that I put iron into and out the other side comes steel. So that's what I've got to set up here at the moment. If you have a look, we've got a heat generator, a crusher, and a metallurgic infuser. To be honest, the crusher is not even necessary for this, so we can get rid of the crusher. Do I have a pickaxe? So yeah, the heat generator, we're gonna need a power system, and we've got the choice. We can either do a centralized power network or we can do individual things, so each thing has its own power generation. Centralized power might be better in the long run, but for this I think we're starting off without any centralized power grid, so I'm just going to do this for now. And if we want to expand it out later, we'll expand it out in a different direction so we can remove the heat generator from here and have a centralized power grid coming in, and that will probably allow us to shrink the size of this. But for now I'm just going to have the heat generator part of the unit because it's simpler to do in my head. Yeah. Now, the heat generator actually has a thing where we're not running off of it at the moment. We're actually running off of this energy tablet, which is using a lot of its energy, and we're slowly draining that energy tablet. The energy tablet was a random drop that we got from something, so I'm a little concerned about that. The heat generators are kind of terrible, and so they have this issue where although everything's fine for them, it doesn't... Basically, it requires a lot of input, and all the kind of passive input stuff we have at the moment doesn't work great for it. But in here, we have a whole bunch of iron, thanks to Floral's contraption there. Honestly, Floral's doing great with this stuff, with the automation. This is now automated making this stuff for us. It'd be nice if there was like an auto crafter that she could run these through, so it automatically crafted up all the things. But honestly, it's fine the way it is at the moment. Honestly, iron is about as expensive for us at the moment as diamond, which is a bit troubling. We need to have a way of having a constant incoming energy supply in terms of wood, which is fine. So this is going to be our wood generator. We're going to stick a bonsai on top of it, which I don't know if that needs to be on top of a hopper. It probably does. It needs to be on top of a hopper, which means I need an axe to get rid of that. That's fine. I have an axe. So let's stick a hopper on top of this chest, and we'll stick the bonsai up there. And that outgrows. That's fine. And we'll put the axe in there. That's fine. So now that is going to be constantly pumping out wood, which goes into this chest at the bottom. Perfect. We need to pipe it into here to get a constant supply of heat. And then we also need to put it into a furnace on both top and bottom so that it pumps its own heat in, basically. And that way we can get charcoal out of it, which we can again feed into this metallurgic infuser, which means then we can just put iron in the metallurgic infuser and everything else is taken care of for us. We're just going to use a basic furnace for this, because honestly, the metallurgic infuser does not use stuff fast enough for it to matter. And then we need to worry about pipes. Now, I think Floral has all of the pipes that she made on her, and I don't know what pipes we want to use for this. I don't think the wooden pipes are a good idea. There's these opaque item pipes. Looks like Floral didn't have them all on her. And we could use these to very quickly and easily get stuff around. Wait, it's not working. Is there... Oh, you need like a connector on it. Honestly, let's get rid of this. Because I think that that's the Oratech pipe. When we were having a look at it, if we look at the storage section, is it in storage? Logistics section, there's other pipes that we can look at. These pipes, these yellow pipes, these are the ones that we used for everything in thing. And you basically, you have to make them in the world engine, it looks like. So this might be the best way of going with, but apparently we need the upgrade before we can do that. So we could use the universal pipe from here. Mechanical pipe, that's fluid. Pressurized tube is gas. And logistical transporter, that is items. And that requires this basic control conduit, which is osmium run through twice, along with 2 steel. Now, I had a whole bunch of enriched iron on me, which we need to convert into steel. Okay, we're doing that the manual way at the moment so that we can get the pipes made. And then once we've got the pipes made, we can then automate this whole section. So then anything that you put in here will be infused with charcoal. We might then need to come up with another one that does redstone. I think Floral's got redstone as an output from somewhere over here. Or if not, that might be the next thing that we have to do with the unearther automation to get redstone. But for now, we're probably just going to have to do it manually for the redstone. But I don't want to pull this metallurgic infuser out of situation. So we're going to have it somewhere else, and we'll need a second metallurgic infuser. So let's work on that while that churns through all of its tasks there. It's going to be quicker to cycle through than try and have me spell the word metallurgic. So we need some osmium for it. Some furnaces and some redstone and some iron. That's all. Should be fairly easy to do. So let's find some osmium. That's the osmium that I need. I've got the iron on me, so I just need 2 furnaces. Great. And then I should be able to make the second metallurgic infuser, which we'll put down over here. How far is this out? This is 3 out. So if I do the same on this side, I'll put it the other way around. Let's just spin that round. Okay, we need some redstone in there. And I need a way of powering it. Now, if I grab this, I should be able to hook that right into there. And then put this. Oh, there's a dog. I got an ethereal wolf. Okay. Do I have to feed you bones or something to make you permanent? Because we have bones. They're down here. 32 should be enough. I mean, it's a big dog, but... doesn't look like he wants that. Okay. Well, he's just here now. Okay. That power's not drifting across. Oh, we haven't done it yet. Whoops. Let's do that. This is growing. I wonder if there's a way that we can... Oh, we can put cobblestone. Okay. I wonder if there's a way that we can speed these up. There probably is. There's also probably a better growing mechanism than that. So it's good for early game, but probably not a late game thing for us. That gets me redstone. What else did I need? Sorry. So that's all the steel dust that I needed, which is good. That's nice. What was I trying to make? Pipes. We were trying to make pipes. We're trying to make these mechanism pipes, which require steel, and this, which requires me to put osmium in there with the redstone, which is fine. I've just used up the last of our osmium, but we should have more osmium chunks around. I think Floral's machine should be spitting those out as well. So let's get those turned green. Let's just do 8 for now and see how that goes. And while that's happening, I can smelt up the steel as well. Anything on me that's burnable? Nope. I don't want to use tiny fuel either. I could probably grab... Yeah. This'll do. What we can do actually is that. Makes a whole bunch of charcoal real quick. And then we'll use the charcoal to fuel smelting our steel. I really like having the netherite furnace here. It was quite a nice thing to get it so early on. I think you can provide it with power as well so that you don't have to burn things, it looks like, but it's super fast, which is so nice. This is stalled straight away. That does not output enough heat. Okay, we're gonna use the tablet. We'll see how much we can get through. Let's make some pipes. I need to put a so that gives me 8 of the logical transporters. Let's have these go into there. And then we need also... Oh my god, are you going to teleport to me the whole time? Oh god. Okay, you're going to be super annoying, aren't you? Let's do that so it goes in both sides. And then we also need our power. Oh, it's run out of redstone. Okay, we'll put more redstone in then. We'll put that way around so that we can get power out of it as well. And we also need to make the energy conduits. That's easy enough to do. But that goes into there, and then we will have... Does it need to come out the bottom, or can it come out the front? I don't know. Is there something in... Oh, we need a configurator. Okay, that requires osmium and steel, both of which I should have. Honestly, 4 should be plenty for what I'm doing at the moment, so let's leave it there. Let's make that configurator. Give me that. Okay, and then we can go and do this. Oh, there we go. So, oh no, okay. Push there. Push there, push there. Pull here. Push there. And then to kick everything off, we need a pull here. Ah. That's going to keep pumping into this until this is full. And it probably never will be. Very convoluted way of doing that. This junction, can I configure that? How do I fork that? Is there any way of getting the books for this stuff? Like, I know Mechanism has a book. Can I get the book for Mechanism? I wonder if I go to World Spawn, can I get it there? Okay, let's go to Spawn and we'll have a look to see if I can get hold of that book. Oh, I bought a quest book. Great. Not what I wanted. That's not that useful to me, I'll be honest. You look like you do storage. You do storage. We might have to figure out what we're going to buy between me and Floral to make sure we can get enough stuff for everything to go together. Let's go have a look in the Machinist. It's create themed, but it might have some mechanism stuff in there as well. So we'll have a look. No, it doesn't have what I want. Yeah, it doesn't have what I want. I can buy a coffee maker though. That's fun. So none of this stuff's going to help me. Okay, let's head back. Oh, wrong door. Oh, okay, you're small now. Cool. You want bone? Oh, I can make him walk. I have a ghost dog. Okay, do you want to come over here and we'll have you set? Come here. There you go. You sit on that. A little bit off, but I shove you on. There you go. Sit on that. Any stuff that's going in there is being piped through automatically into this. Unfortunately, I need a way of controlling. Okay, these all have the same things. I'm hoping this gives me what I need. And that a diversion transporter allows me to put a diversion in the pipe here. We'll see. Which hopefully will then be configurable. So let's try making this. What do I need for it at the moment? I need more redstone and I need some iron bars. Genuinely, I'm not sure where we're getting redstone from at the moment. There's not any hovering around anywhere. That's not that helpful. This doesn't seem to be outputting redstone at all. Here's the problem with, I think, Floral's machine here. I don't think this is getting any. Like, nothing seems to be coming through here. Unless it's so quick I can't see. We're going into this top one, which would explain why the top one has less stuff in it than the bottom one. So I think this is now grabbing. You're dying. You die, sir. I think Floral's mechanism has a problem because I think this chest is always feeding this before it feeds this. So it always gets turned into dirt. And it will until the dirt chest is full. If I take stone and I fill this up. Oh, you have dirt. You don't have a brush anymore. The brushes don't seem to be going in. I'm just going to take one and give it to him manually for the moment. And then Floral can fix that problem when Floral's back. What I'm going to do is actually take this out. No. I'll swap that for that. So now when that's full, this should... the auto hammer's going to tick. Until that doesn't... Oh, I didn't mean to disable that. No. And then this should give this guy every now and then a gravel. Oh, he did get a gravel. Okay, great. Okay, so at least he's doing something now. I got to deal with this pipe split because I have the exact same problem. This goes into just making energy in here. If I disable that, the idea is that we get these top and bottom. And then that feeds through to here. But again, we've got a split here. And I think it always takes the shortest path. Because I think it's always going to go into the bottom until the bottom's full. And only then will it go into the top. And it doesn't look like it wants to then come out into this. Which is annoying. But I guess it probably has to be taken from underneath, I guess. It's still not pulling from that thing. I mean, I could do it the lazy way and just have this be on top of a hopper. We need item filters and things like that. God, this is going to be complicated. The whole pipe system is broken. Right now, we can only do one thing to one thing. Is pretty much how it's going to work. Okay, why don't we get on with some other stuff and then we can come back to figuring out the automation part of it once I've got a little bit more that I can play with. We've got pipes now, which is nice. I can get the iron. And then what have I got to do? I've got to be able to make these things, which... Oh. Dielectric casing. That should be easy enough. We just need a whole bunch of charcoal and clay. And I think one of Floral's things is spitting out clay. Yeah. So that's fine. We have a whole bunch of clay that we can make the dielectric stuff with. We then need a whole bunch of charcoal and we need some lava, but that's easy enough. That's all fairly standard. It's honestly, the problem is the quantities. Like if we go have a look at this, we need 64 of these. We get 16, which means we need 4 runs of these. And this produces 8, which gives us 2. So that's actually not terrible. Okay, let's do that first. Let's make all of the frames that we need. 3 of those. 2 of those. And a lava. 324. 64. That should be fine. We're going to leave it there just because I don't want to make too much and have a problem. What we then need to do is make the dielectric casings, of which we need how many? 1 turns to 16 and we need 64, so we need 4 of these. We only need 4 of these. That's 4. Okay. So we've got those. What else do we need? So we've got the ones of those we need. We then need 8 of the steel mechanical components, which require us to smash a bunch of steel plates. So in here now, I should have my steel. I also have my engineer's hammer, which I can put... Yeah. I can do this too. And that'll get my steel plates. That's still not that many steel plates. This is why we were overproducing iron, like steel. This was the point of overproducing steel. But honestly, what we're going to have to do is just have this working and we'll just make it manually. That feels like the best bet. How much steel do I need? To make these steel mechanical components, we need 4, and these work out 3 to 1. So, and we need how many of the big... Sorry, I've gotten myself confused. How many of these did we need? We need 8 of these things, which means we need 4 times 8 is 32. So we need 32 steel plates, which then we need to times by 3. Which means we need 96 steel. So given that we're using way too much energy right now, that's not going to end well. It's just not outputting enough for this to be worth it. There has to be a better system for this because this is about to run out. Okay, let's have a look at the power again. The problem is trying to get stuff fuel into these is difficult. Like this is not constantly running. So the weak link is these bonsais, basically. It looks like with a consistent power source, this can power this. I don't know what the output of this is. Max output 408. Using 20 FE per tick. So these can well outproduce that. The problem is the inconsistency at which these are arriving. So we need a better way of generating a heat producing thing. Okay, so I think I'm going to call this episode here. What I'm going to do is spend the next episode probably back here, creating another room for us to get create stuff up and running so that we can get that lava chicken. Once we can breed lava chickens, hopefully we can get to the point where we are having a heat generation system being fueled with lava. Be so much more efficient than this system, which is struggling at the moment. And then we can focus on getting a power grid up and running to fuel everything else. Once we've got power up and running, we should be good to go. We can tie like the netherite furnace into that. We can tie pretty much anything we like into that power system. When we did StoneBlock 3, we did a centralized power grid. And honestly, I'm leaning that way at the moment. With how difficult power is to come by, it seems, it's probably going to be a good idea if we can get that power system set up sooner rather than later. Have a centralized power grid and then try feeding that with as much as we can. We'll probably need a whole bunch of these heat generators, but that's fine. Once we've got this automated, we should be able to make those fairly easily. We can get a whole bunch of heat generators set up and fuel them with the output from a whole bunch of lava chickens, which will give us an amazing early game energy solution. We also need to work out what we're doing about pipes, and we probably need to come up with a combined pipe system and work out what we're going to go with. I know Floral's gone into these Orotech pipes. I've gone with these mechanism pipes, which apparently are better, but I'm not sure why she said that. And then we can go from there. As I say, hopefully everything with all of this, it has gone well enough that it's usable. For the moment, we're still trying to tick through all of this. I have a ghost dog, which is nice. I don't have a name for the ghost dog yet, so taking suggestions. And the mob farm is up and running and working, which is really nice that we've got a mob farm back here that actually works. It is a passive farm, so it does require their random tick movement. So for now, it's working, but I can't guarantee it's going to stay working forever. And we might have to think about coming up with a more active mob farm back here. We might also need to expand this chest out soon. But for everything that's in there, it's pretty good. It's going pretty well. Apparently, we can take this stuff and turn it into leather, which means we can get a whole bunch of leather set up. It also means we can get backpacks set up fairly quickly. I do like I added this tinted glass so you can see into the mob farm now without it affecting the light levels in. Okay, so that's all we've got time for today. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Early next week, we'll be releasing the first part of Outlaw Life, which is a collaborative series that we're doing with a bunch of other VTubers, and we've done the first recording session for it now, and it was a lot of fun, and I think we got some really good content out of it. So I'm really happy with the way that's come out. Gotta edit it all together, so we'll see how long the video ends up, but to be honest, I'm not worried about that, and it'll be as long as it needs to be. Future episodes of that will be coming out every Tuesday, and we'll still have the weekly Friday videos, so we've got loads of content coming soon.